Hi guys, I'm going to talk you through just how I approach making a few of these bits and pieces. So you've all got to see this. I do some really simple CAD modeling using a program called Cinema 4D. Really straightforward, then use that for 3D printing and then creating fiberglass models, seat units and front fairing. So this is it, this is the end result. Using Cinema 4D, I'll just talk you through what I do. So really simply, start with a primitive. I'm going to go over here now and make that 6-sided just to keep it really simple. There's probably another way to do this, but it's the quickest way I know how to. So just killing a few of those attributes, and then I'm going to make it editable. Let's see, first off, so I'm going to just roll that round 90 degrees, get that roughly into the plane where you'd expect to see the headlights. So this is going to be the bit that goes around the lens of the unit. I'm just going up there now and I'm just going to make that editable. That's simplified it now, so it's no longer editable. I'm going to go into face, just going to delete those faces. Bang, gone. Okay, other end. Do the same again, bang, delete, gone. So that's it. And basically this is a Hypernerves modeling, so it's kind of odd, but once you get used to it, it's really simple, really flexible. So what you'll see is just going to compress that down, make it slim, and you'll kind of see what happens as I go along. It'll start to make sense. Pull that over a little bit, just get it centered on the stage, and then I'm also just going to drop the floor a little bit, just because at the moment the floor's crashing through it. Not that that matters, it's just good housekeeping. Pan out a little bit, I'm still moving around, faffing around. Okay, right, now I'm going to go on to edge. So edge selection. Oh no, sorry, face selection. I'm going to delete half of that, because that's the other thing. I don't need to model both sides. I model one side, so the computer can do the rest. So I'm going to drop that into a symmetry object. And I just got to change the name, give it something like no, which I never do. I'm just doing it now because you're watching. And then I'm just going to change the symmetry. So now it's mirrored, basically. Mirrored in the plane you're after. Now I'm going to go onto edge. I'm going to select a couple of those edges. So probably the front edges first, I think. Okay, it makes me a little bit slow. So you go 1, 2. This will make sense as I go along. So now I'm just going to extrude those. You'll see how this works. I'm going to go up in the top left hand menu bar, hit extrude, pull that up. This is starting to build my surface, it's starting to build the face of the object. Pull those around a little bit more, and then again I can just tweak that a little bit, get that point, move it up. Doesn't need too much shape up there. Again, you'll see as I get a little bit closer. It's cool, pull it out. Same with the bottom. Just pull that down a little bit. And the middle one, I'm going to pop that out, bring that. Yeah, feels good. Now maybe just pull this outside because I'm going to create a surface in there. So just pull that across. Now the tools in Cinema 4D are all pretty simple. And for simple modeling like this, it's really low poly modeling. It couldn't be easier. So I'm already on edge. Now I'm going to go bridge. Still on edge, so go from that edge to that edge. Bang! You see it's mirrored on both sides. That's why I love that. Makes it so much simpler. So just pulling that around a little bit. Now a couple more tweaks. Let's get that point and that point. Just pull that back because I want this fairing I did for the XV750 had that sort of rounded feature. Also pulled out that detail in the tank, that Kawasaki tank, which has that raised portion around the fuel tank, and I wanted to bring some of that into it. So here we're just going to get that edge surface now and extrude it. Oh, no, you'll see the extrusion splitting away from the other one. That's because the surface wasn't horizontal. So just do this, and this basically means it'll extrude in that one plane. So you see I checked a box there, you just follow what I've done on screen. Tip that back a little bit for some aerodynamics. Don't get too hung up on dimensions, we can pull it around later to be accurate. At first it's what does it look like, how does it feel? You can do some of the number crunching later, or not. You can start with numbers and never bother. So this is that step really just to sort of create that elevated section that the tank has, to mirror that a little bit, and then you can kind of see how I'm pulling that off to one side. Same again, just grab these points, and this is really just sculpting now, but it's almost as if you could make this out of paper. If you can make it out of paper, this is you're halfway there, and just keeping things simple and clean, avoiding too many triangles, keep things four-sided if possible. But again, you find ways around it. Just pulling that around a little bit to give a little bit more curvature to the top. It's cute. Okay, it's nice. And then just down here it's all a bit jumpy, so again, just simplifying it. Now later we're going to soften this and you'll see it's kind of magical, but at the moment we kind of got to get close when it's as though we're making this out of sheet metal. There's not a lot of difference, but I suppose I wish I could make some of this stuff in metal, but this is the way I know, and this is the way I've been playing with, and it also means I get perfect symmetry. It can be really accurate. It's just tipping that about. Just keep looking, and then let's see, we're gonna just grab those points. Just see one of my alerts has come up. Hope that's nothing confidential. So I'm just grabbing all these edges here, get those all the way around, and then you'll see I'm basically just going to extrude that backwards. Ooh. Which is cool. Gives it a little bit of depth. Grab that top corner because I don't want that to be too sharp, and I'm just going to bevel that, but I'm not going to put loads of steps in it. It's just going to be like a chisel, like a facet. So I'm going to do the bevel tool. One step just means it's just a chamfer. And then kind of getting there. There's not a lot more it needs. So just pulling that around, seeing if all the surfaces are kind of where I'd imagine they would be. I'm also going to get these edges now as well, so sharpen this up a little bit. So go around, select all my edges. Now again, just going to bevel that. I'm already on the bevel tool, I think, so just, one facet step, just a little edge. Now basically Hypernerves, when I drop all this into Hypernerves sort of basically takes all those points, almost like control points on a spline, and softens them. So boop, that's too soft. But if I've got to go in there and just up the resolution, so make that probably 4 or 5, sharpen it up a little bit, so now I can start to see how the thing is going to look in reality, and it's all a bit soft for me at the moment, and now I can kind of see I'm not that keen on shapes. That was a mistake. Okay, so there we go. Now let's just look at it again. So I want that to be a little bit taller, a little bit more fascia. Now I could simply model some forks and the triple clamps under this, I think, but you get the idea. This keeps it nice and simple. Pull that, needs to be a little bit wider proportionally, trying to get that sweet spot where everything looks right, looks good. Bottom corner could come out a little bit. There we go, just a touch. You kind of see all the curvature, everything's looking really nice in there. Now, okay. It's 90% there, and you've seen this taken, what's this, I don't know, 4 minutes. I just want to add that tension that the tank has, and this is a lovely tool where you can kind of weight an edge, and you'll see what I mean. It just adds a tension, pulls it, like irons a crease into it, and you can control that just by sliding things around. Remember, this is happening on both sides. I haven't got to do it on both sides. So just, got a triangle there, it's not great, but it doesn't matter. Just trying to find the edge. And then I just hold down, I don't even know which key it is, do it subconsciously, but then just drag and it tightens it. Look, just pulls that tension, and you can play with that, but that starts to give you that similar line that the Kawasaki tank has. I'm just going to drop a box in there to nick its smoothing tag. Don't need the box, so I can bin that. That was just a quick cheat. Now maybe, what am I thinking? Maybe just around the lens aperture is all a little bit too soft at the moment, so I'm going to go back to my edge. Wait there, hang on, I'm just going to tweak this first. So it's not feeling as nice as I'd like it. So yeah, a little bit more flared. And I can move this around. So this is where you can kind of start really getting sculptural. Do you want that to be a bit more convex, a little bit concaved? No, just all the little touchy-feely bits of just getting it exactly as you want it. Again, easier than on the English wheel. Now, what have I got left? Yeah, so now I think, select the object. Come on, get it. She gone. And then just going to take those edges, just again, remember it's just on half of it. That's what I love. pick those 3, and then really bevel it. You could do it with weighting, but bevel's fine. That's it, look, bit more. So that's it, that's pretty much it. That's all there is to it. And that's, you can kind of see, if you can do that in that amount of time, you can do fairings, you can do anything. Really simple, and it's just really good fun to play with. So this is the first attempt, just to show you, maybe if you can download Cinema 4D, you can get it off eBay, or buy yourself a license if you've already got it. This will just give you an introduction, shows you a workflow, and beyond that, if this has been of any use, we'll do some more. I'll dig into it. We'll go a little bit deeper.